Aloha Hawaii. I wanted to give you several updates on the
Hawaii
state of the
Valisi Josh
crisis
Green,
on Maui.
2023'te
Just
Maui
returned.
adasında meydana
We were
gelen ve en
there
az
for
93
several hours
kişinin
today.
ölümüne neden olan
People
orman
are doing okay.
yangınlarında son durum
This is the
hakkında bilgi
largest
verdi.
natural disaster in our
Yangınların
history.
hala kontrol altına
As of this
alınmadığını
moment,
ve arama
93
kurtarma
individuals have
çalışmalarının devam
perished,
ettiğini
and
söyledi.
we know that the
Green,
teams are
yangınların
in
eyalet
an ongoing
tarihindeki en
fashion
ölümcül
discovering other
felaketlerden biri
tragedies.
olduğunu ve tüm Hawaii
Now, this
halkına
fire began
üzüntülerini
on the
iletti.
8th,
Green,
late on
yangınların
Tuesday,
sebebinin hala
and what
araştırıldığını
the
ancak
result
yıldırım düşmesi
was
ihtimali üzerinde durulduğunu
destruction of
söyledi.
Lahaina.
Yangınların, bölgedeki kurak hava koşulları ve yoğun bitki örtüsü nedeniyle hızla yayıldığına dikkat çekti. Green, yangınların eyalet ekonomisine de büyük zarar verdiğini söyledi. Yangınlar nedeniyle birçok ev ve iş yeri kullanılamaz hale geldi ve tarım arazileri tahrip oldu. Green, eyalet hükümetinin yangınların etkilerini hafifletmek için çalıştığını söyledi. Green, yangınlarla mücadelede federal hükümetin desteğine teşekkür etti. Green, yangınların kontrol altına alınması ve mağdurların yaralarının sarılması için federal hükümetin desteğinin önemli olduğunu söyledi. Green, yangınların Hawaii halkına hatırlattığı üzere iklim değişikliğinin gerçek bir tehdit olduğunu söyledi. Green, iklim değişikliğiyle mücadele için daha fazla adım atılması gerektiğini söyledi.
From FEMA in the state of Hawaii, including the administrator, the top dog, Deanne. She's been wonderful. We've had a lot of time to discuss how we will ultimately rebuild Lahaina and support Maui. We're honored to have had the support of the president. When I asked for the declaration in the wee hours of the morning, just after midnight on Wednesday, just 6 hours and 10 minutes later, the president agreed and authorized the full force of the federal government in support of us. That's why we have these personnel. Let me tell you a little bit about the FEMA team. For example, right now, we need to help find those who have perished, and it's ongoing. There are currently 35 additional people coming with their team from the Urban Search and Rescue Division. In addition to that group of men and women, we'll have 20 dogs that can go and find the tragic sites where people have perished. I will tell you this as a physician, it is a harrowing sight in Maui. When those providers, the police and this division do come across scenes in houses or businesses, is very difficult for them because they know ultimately they will be sharing with our people that there have been more fatalities. I do expect the numbers to rise. In addition to FEMA and the Urban Search and Rescue Team, we also have several other agencies. The Small Business Administration, they'll be providing significant loans to our businesses going forward. If someone's been involved in the crisis, they should call FEMA right now. 1-800-621-3362. 1-800-621-3362. It's very important because there will be grants for people, there'll be loans available for people that have struggled and suffered. There ultimately will be rent subsidies. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is already beginning to view this site not just as a disaster, but as a long-term recovery. They will be helping us in partnership with active military and our reserves and all of our partners. They will be active in the deconstructing of the disaster area, and we'll have to remove the debris. In addition to that, HHS, that is the National Health System Organization. HHS is helping us with mortuary services, as have many volunteer organizations like the dental community across our state who can help identify the tragic remains of our lost loved ones. The EPA is here. They are working on the environmental considerations of this disaster. There are a lot of heavy metals and other toxins in the dust, in the debris, in Lahaina. It's very important because this is part of our recovery also. Eventually we will rebuild, but until that debris is cleared, until all the toxic waste is out of there, it's going to be very difficult. The Department of Defense is another partner that we have. We have designated, of course, General Hara, who is our current Adjutant General, as our command leader, our incident commander. But in addition to that, we needed support from active military duty, and for purposes of organization, we've activated a second general. That general will be leading both the active duty officials that are here in large measure to keep things safe on Maui. This is General Logan. So General Logan is overseeing that operation, and you will see hundreds of military officials and personnel on Maui protecting roads, making sure things are okay, so that the people who are doing recovery are in a space where they can do their work, and we can go back to a more normal life in some of that area, driving across the roads as recovery is delivered. Let me talk about the American Red Cross for a moment. They've been extraordinary, flying in dozens and dozens of volunteers. Some came from Maui initially, others have come from all over the state. They've helped us with shelters, they've helped us organize a lot of our programs, and they're caring for thousands of individuals on Maui. We thank them and the other nonprofits for protecting our people, those who have survived. A hotel program has been stood up, an emergency housing program by our government, by our team here out of my office. We have a large coalition of people that are putting houses together. In this case, these are hotel rooms. We have over 500 hotel rooms which will be available to people who have been victims of this terrible fire. We'll also have additional hotel rooms for first responders, so that they'll be able to respond and retreat to a hotel room safely. There'll be no cost to individuals that go into this program, and ultimately FEMA will be very supportive of the cost going forward as well. Long-term housing is also being established as part of this task force, and that is FEMA's primary goal, to get people sheltered and made safe as they deal with these other challenges. So that's going into effect in just a few hours. Some of the first individuals will go into hotels today, and then large numbers tomorrow and the days subsequent to that. There's another program that we'll be initiating, and this is with the Airbnb industry. Airbnb is going to offer us hundreds of typically short-term rentals in a longer-term capacity, so we can put people into a place for months. There will be subsidies, of course. People will get housing subsidies almost comprehensively if they've been displaced, but the state will also work hard to pick up additional costs for those who may not fall properly into the program. There are going to be some individuals who have come from other parts of our Pacific region who we care for, who are parts of our ohana, and they will also need to be housed. Many of these individuals are local workers, so we want them to work there carefully. I want to say this to everyone. There's a lot to share. There's a lot of information that people want, and to that end, I've authorized a comprehensive review of what happened in the early hours of the fire and the hours thereafter. We will build back together. We will find out what we could have done to prevent such loss of life to the best of our ability. As of now, the best information we have is that in those hours when the fire sparked, there were several fires across Maui. One fire was deemed to be out. It must not have been completely extinguished, because when the winds rose up, winds gusting as high as 81 miles per hour, fire spread rapidly. We believe between 60 miles per hour and 81 miles per hour across that part of the island. And that meant that fire traveled 1 mile every minute, resulting in this tragedy. With those kind of winds and 1,000-degree temperatures, ultimately all the pictures that you will see will be easy to understand, because that level of destruction in a fire hurricane, something new to us in this age of global warming, was the ultimate reason that so many people perished. We're going to continue to rebuild, like I said, with all of these partners, and there's many more to mention. I would be remiss if I didn't thank everyone for their generosity. People should continue to support this mission, especially giving resources through the Hawaii Community Foundation or the other excellent allied agencies that are accepting monetary donations. At the moment, it's difficult to accept extra food or water products unless they're shipped directly to Maui. Some of that coordinated effort is going on, and we appreciate it in every way. But for the moment, monetary donations, which then can be used to buy services and buy food and water on the island, makes it a little bit easier. Again, thank you for your compassion, for your aloha for all of our people. Thank you for understanding that this is a big mission which will go on for many months and years. I'll address you more completely in the coming days and weeks, but this is meant to provide you with an update on what's going on here on Sunday, the 13th of August. Aloha.